Hi-ho, everybody, and welcome to Kingdom Compass TV, the show where we talk about shows streaming all across the internet. I'm one of your hosts, Griffin Tunnell, Griffy D-Pad, and with me, as always, is the wonderful, the amazing Mr. Mitch George. How are you feeling today?
To me, my X-Men. Dude, let's do it.
That's
I'm ready. So ready. It's going to be a day. All right?
This is going to be a very fun day for us, folks. We're recording this right in the middle of D23, so there's so much happening for us that we're talking about in this episode.
Christmas is here.
Other episodes. Keep an eye out on the channel for that, whether you're listening on podcast services or YouTube.
Is Bluey going to be the first film my son sees in theaters? Probably.
But that's not what we're talking about today. We have an entire episode dedicated to that. Go check that out when that's available.
Probably more than one, because we're not going to be able to shut up.
I'm talking just the entertainment stuff. The entertainment stuff is one episode. God knows about the park stuff. Remember when we tried to fit it all into one episode last year, and it was like almost 4 hours?
Yeah, that was interesting, especially because
never again.
This year ends at midnight if it starts on time, Eastern.
That's a tomorrow thing. But anyways, we're here today, folks, to talk about X-Men 97, episodes 6 through 9, the back half of season 2. If you didn't know, folks, we talk about shows. We try to do it episode by episode, but God knows schedules do not work for us.
Life sucks.
So we've kind of shifted to doing a front half and back half kind of thing. We're figuring it out day by day, series by series. And there's plenty more series coming for us to talk about. Oh, I'm setting off Siri on my phone. So, stuff like Lanterns is coming out here. Ted Lasso is available now. Like
Lantern starts this week.
Lantern starts tomorrow.
I know. Technically, that's next week, but you know what I mean.
There's a lot of stuff coming, and we are going to try to talk about as much as we can.
Oswald the Lucky Rabbit.
So much. Oswald might be a main episode.
I would agree with that. Percy Jackson season 3. Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man season 2.
January.
Marvel Zombies season 2.
If that happens.
Did we ever do Maul Shadow Lord?
No, we never did. I also never finished it.
Oh, you should finish it. It's really good.
I got like 3 episodes left, and I kind of just stalled because other things were happening. That's
Visions,
not the point.
The Ninth Jedi.
You need to watch that show.
I know I do. I'm still finishing Visions season 3.
I finished it. It's incredible. I loved it. No, but we're talking today, folks, about X-Men 97. Episode 6, Danger.exe. Episode 7, Strange
Kingdom
Land,
Hearts, the
Savage
series
Heart.
is a thing now.
I'm on X-Men now. Focus. We need focus today, or we're not going to get through anything.
Ain't gonna happen. Please continue.
Episode 7, Strange Land, Savage Heart. Episode 8, The Dead Man's Hand. And Episode 9, Survival of the Fittest. Which season 2 is over now.
It is.
God damn, what a season of television.
Yes, I would say the way I felt about it through the front half of this was that the episodes individually are stronger than the episodes in season 1. Season 1 had a stronger plot throughout, and I hoped that by the end of this season, they would find ways to wrap some of these plots together and pay off things that were built out throughout the season. That did not happen. For me, at least.
See, the thing that I really wanted them to wrap up... Oh, forgot. Full spoilers, folks, for this show. If you haven't seen the show,
probably
go watch
for
it,
more than
back.
just this show. Probably spoilers for comics, movies, everything.
For me, the thing I wanted them to nail, and that I think they did nail, was the different teams coming together at the end. And I do think that the difference between the X-Men / X-Corp, X-Force, and X-Factor, all of that coming together at the end, I think was very fun and really well done. I love this final combat between everybody. In what I think it was Survival of the Fittest where they all fight.
Survival of the Fittest, yeah, the finale.
I loved all that. I loved everything with Gambit. I love how they brought it all together. For me, I agree. This season is much more disjointed than the season 1.
Yes.
But the quality cannot be understated for how damn good season 2 is.
No, the individual stories they're telling, setting up Danger as a character that exists in this world, the stuff with Colossus and...
I would tell you, though, every other episode except for Dangers, I think plays well into how we end this season.
I would say there could have been more payoff from the Savage Heart episode for me personally, but in general, I would agree.
Because Savage and Savage Heart was the Colossus episode, right?
Yes, and we don't really see much of Colossus after that. And I mean, there are implications that will go into season 3, which we'll talk about that post-credit scene eventually. But The stuff with Exodus could have been something bigger. The stuff with Magic could
See,
have been
for me,
something
the
bigger.
payoff from that episode is in Nightcrawler's sacrifice at the end. I think because yes, it is a Colossus episode, and I think we like Colossus as a character from not this show, but he's not a main character in this show. Nightcrawler was.
No.
Like that episode was a payoff for Nightcrawler. Which definitively Nightcrawler Exodus, incredible fight.
That was dope. Yeah, Nightcrawler with swords is the best Nightcrawler, and the fact that
I love that we've just accepted that
we're in
across the
D23
board.
season. We've seen the Nightcrawler costume at the booth.
Dude,
we
did you
know
see
we're going to
the,
get Alan Cummings doing crazy flips with swords,
Did you see
and
the
it's
statue?
all going to be CG, and it's still going to be great.
They put a statue out for him, and he's got like the swords. And he's in like the classic Nightcrawler like ready pose.
I know, but I want three swords, and I know they're going to save the 3-sword reveal for the movie itself, and I think that's great. I know there's going to be a third.
I do love that we have just accepted this point that Nightcrawler is a better character when he has swords.
He is a better character as a pirate than as a Catholic.
Not sure I agree with that, but that's
I mean,
also because I'm thinking of a very specific book from the Krakoan age, which is Nightcrawler founding a mutant religion, which is genuinely incredible, an incredible book.
Which it does feel like X-Men 97 is building to telling that story, which I am wholly in favor of.
But yeah, I really love this episode. This season. I think I put season 2 above season 1 altogether as a whole, just because of this quality episode. Again, I think I'm putting it by a hair. I think they're very similar in quality in just different ways. But I think for me, my favorite part about the season, what I really loved from these 4 episodes, is just how much heart and how much I love these characters. Everything with bringing Gambit back was like, let's just pull on your heartstrings and pull and pull and pull and pull.
I would agree with that, but I would also argue that the strength of the emotional response you have from season 2 doesn't hit the way it does if Remember It isn't one of the single best episodes of television that we've had in the last
100%.
Like, that's my thing, is I don't think anything is going to top that for me as a television moment. I did get a little emotional towards the end of this one. Obviously, Nightcrawler's sacrifice is an emotional moment. But the thing with it, and the thing, I messaged you this almost immediately after you watched the finale, because you watched it after I did, we don't see a body. And in comics, and you had this argument with me in Spider-Man, where we didn't see the body of the old guy that Jean killed. I still think that dude's dead because he's an old dude that got thrown in front of a bus. We don't see Nightcrawler's body at the end of this. I do think that there is a way for them. I mean, obviously, when we get into Krakoa, there's definitely a way we can get into a Nightcrawler revival. But before we even get there, there's going to be something in season 3 that brings him back.
I don't think so. I don't think season 3. I think season 4. I think they give it a sec. So let's talk future a little bit, and then we'll go back into this. Obviously, we have the post-credit scene in this show with Mystique. Cool. Mystique's going to be the villain next season. Love that.
Well, it's not even that Mystique is going to be the villain. We know we're going to get Brotherhood of Mutants, and we're very likely going to get, because Mystique is impersonating What's-Her-Face at the end of this. And for those online who think, oh, well, did she take over before, or was she part of the through line of X Factor being the antagonist they were towards the end of the season? No, because we see as well in that post-credit scene another large implication for season 3, and why I'm disappointed and expect Nightcrawler to show up there is that Graydon Creed is elected president of the United States. And to not have Nightcrawler when his brother is the president of the United States would be a significant miss, in my opinion. So I do think that there's a world in which he's back as a part of season 3, unless they save all of that story with Creed for season 4. But I don't expect that to be the case.
Yeah. So my thought here is you tell a more insular story to the United States in season 3 if you're going to set up what you've set up, and then you can build out to Krakoa from there. Because building out to Krakoa is incredibly difficult from where they're currently at. Like, the build up for Krakoa, comic book wise, required 2 full mini run series for them to establish this is what we're doing. Get on board. So.
Yeah. And I do think they're starting to plant the seeds there with X-Core, with Genosha, with all of the stuff that they've built at the end of this season. So yes, maybe it is something that they built towards for either season 4 or the back half of season 3, but we'll have to wait and see. I just think that there's a lot going on there where I'm kind of aligned with you, where you could save the Creed Nightcrawler Sabretooth Mystique coming to blows until season 4, but you do need the US as an antagonist to X-Corp to facilitate the move to Krakoa.
Well, I also think that X-Corp is done. I think X-Corp is over after this. After the events.
I'm just I'm using them interchangeably, but obviously, there's
like,
an interesting
I'm
place
interested
for
to see
that
what's
to go.
next. Of course, I'm very happy though with what we've got. I think we mentioned it a couple times. Like, I won't go episode by episode on this back half real quick. Danger.exe, I think I love this episode. It's also the most inconsequential episode of the season.
The only thing of consequence is it brings Polaris back to the team.
Yeah, it brings Polaris back, which I love.
That could have happened at any point.
Polaris is one of my standouts for the season. Like, she's incredible.
People shipping Polaris and Bishop is just one of my favorite things to come out of the season.
Them, people, the fucking show, literally everything. That said, I'm sad that we're not getting one of my favorite relationships in comic books, which is Polaris and Havoc.
Who says we won't?
True. All of these,
but it does seem like we're past the point that they would have been in that relationship in the comics. So
true.
We'll see.
But we got this. It was a really fun episode still, and it did end up becoming the setup for X-Corp, which I really like. Strangeland Savage Heart being this not Daredevil, Nightcrawler moment, like, was all really good. And then I kind of put
problem I had with Strangeland Savage Heart is that they do so much to set up things that could tie into the Apocalypse story. Magic getting wiped.
I say, let me talk to you about that. You introduce my favorite fucking mutant, and then you kill her immediately.
Again, we didn't see a body. Same deal. Like, I could see Magic as a horseman of the Apocalypse, but now I don't know where, if you tell that story with Exodus, Gambit, Magic, and maybe Nightcrawler, but like,
I could see us getting Magic back and it being a Limbo story. Because I think it could be a fun
Limbo is a key component of building to Krakoa, at least in the comics.
I think it would also be a fun way to bring back Madeline Pryor. Because that was one of my personal critiques of this. Of, you established such an incredible, powerful character last season, and like, I get we're doing the Apocalypse story, so she doesn't necessarily fit. But I would very much like to see her. I hope we see her in season 3. Because there is no X-Men quite like the Summers family is a mess X-Men, and we got that a little bit this season with
I will be interested as we move into season 3, because we both agree that the storytelling, the plot in season 1, the through line, the serialization of this show was so well organized, and part of that, I mean, controversies aside, Bo DeMeo was a huge part of season 1 and still played a significant role in the development of the story for season 2. I do worry that they've already said, "Oh, this is doing so well for us. We're planning out like 6 more or 5 more seasons."
So
all this stuff.
That's the thing. My thing where I wonder if it's less him and more. Season 1 was set up to tell a very good story and be able to end. Yeah. Season 2 feels like it is setting up past just this season.
And I hope they don't put the cart before the horse in this scenario, where they're doing too much to set things up that ends up ultimately not paying off, or taking multiple seasons to pay off. Because I feel like
I'm fine with it taking multiple seasons to pay off, because we know we're getting season 4 next year. We're getting season 5 the year after that. Or no, season 3 next year, season 4 the year after that. Like, we know we're getting this still. And I think that's a very nice position to be in with a show of, like,
the thing is,
we know
we know we're getting it until we're not. Because Wonder Man season 2 was announced, and now we're not getting it.
Yeah, but animation works a little bit differently. Animation, typically, you purchase within 2 season runs. So you're hiring people on so that there's less of a break in between them. That's why there was a 2-year break between season 1 and season 2, and why there's only going to be a 1-year break between season 2 and season 3.
Like, and then 3 and 4. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, we know we're getting season 3 and season 4. Past that is the question mark to me.
Yeah.
Like, I do think it, and agreed, the Wonder Man, I think Wonder Man throws a massive wrench on all of this, and we really need to do an episode at some point talking about, like, what the fuck is Marvel's TV strategy now? Because
we can, I think when we talk about D23, we can talk about that, because there has not been much of a mention of Disney Plus or TV at all.
But they did have a news article, but it wasn't part of D23.
We will wrap that into that conversation. This conversation, X-Men 97.
But yeah, like I said, I love the show. The show's great. I think that some of my favorite fight scenes in this show. Everything they did with Gambit, like, I love this fake out of Apocalypse being quote unquote dead. It's something I have known of. Like Apocalypse does have the ability to switch bodies. That's something was already aware of.
I was too,
So-
but I was very much thinking they were going to go the multiple, like Apocalypse from the future or from the past ended up in the present and did timey-wimey things. This approach worked well too.
I thought he was going to be someone completely different. I thought he was not going. I did not think he was going to be Gambit. I thought he was going to fight alongside Gambit. So to him become Gambit and have that back and forth, and like we get the Dark Gambit with the tarot cards at 8, and him like going hunting down this former lover of Apocalypse to make Rogue immortal, just for like
Which
to get all of that power.
About 7 minutes,
which was incredible to me. Getting all of that sheer amount of power just to have a god take it away establishes the stakes of how powerful the Celestials are so well.
and
I
how
loved it.
badly Marvel dropped the bag in live action.
You ready for the revisionism around Eternals?
Yes, because I think it's going to be a positive thing, and I love that movie. So please go ahead.
Look, I'm fine if we accept it, but y'all got to remember who the fuck was here from the beginning. That's us.
Yeah,
We love that movie.
I fucking love that movie.
Kind of want to go.
Unironically love that movie.
Like, I'm doing a bunch of Marvel rewatching right now before Doomsday, and I might honestly, I've already rewatched it for this run, but I might go rewatch it again.
I need to start that because I've now bought my second set of Doomsday tickets for the Friday. Now that they released more tickets outside of just the premium formats.
See, I only have the one
Sorry,
set.
Infinity Vision.
Here's the hard thing for me is that I have to somehow manage Christmas travel in there as well.
Yeah, but like that's a whole week after the movie comes out, and you can see the movie with your family over the holidays.
Yes, but here's the problem, Mitch. I see the movie and then I'm leaving like 2 days later.
Oh, we gotta record.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Now
so
you
here's
see
the
the
thing.
issues.
No. There's no issue. I know we're the tangent.
No,
Sorry,
my
folks.
schedule is the issue.
No, but I'm seeing this at 3:00 on the Thursday, and then I'm taking Thursday and Friday off.
We'll talk. I don't remember what my ticket
We'll figure it out.
I think my ticket is like Friday night.
Oh, you're Friday night. Oh fuck.
Yeah, that's the issue.
We'll
We'll figure it out.
We'll make it work. We'll make it work. How late
Anyways.
is your show?
12:15 a.m.
How early can you wake up the following day?
Probably not sleeping that night. Let's be honest.
You wake me up at 3 a.m. It's fine.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I did not sleep last night. I am still.
I know you didn't.
Buzzing.
I woke up to a YouTube short.
Yeah, well, yeah, I admit that.
And the thing ended at like 1 a.m.
I got that up around 2. No, I've still been buzzing from the Kingdom Hearts news.
It's a lot.
But bringing it back. Yeah, the Gambit stuff is incredible. I love the tarot cards so much. God, that was such
dope,
a great artistic choice. Just as like me being a tarot nerd as well, like yes,
Because they don't go that route in the comics at all, as far as I know.
no, that was all new.
That was new, yeah.
Yeah, it was so good, and like
I'm just not as familiar with Gambit's Horseman run.
Apocalypse looking Gambit, well, so was like genuinely terrifying to me.
I didn't love that.
I think it fit.
90s Apocalypse is such an iconic look that I would have just been fine with, like, it's just Apocalypse. You don't need Apocalypse in a trench coat with fluffy hair.
See,
'Cause
I
that's
liked it
essentially
because
what
it
it was.
established that we could still save Gambit.
I suppose, but I like that classic look to.
I also think that the 90s look for Apocalypse is one of his worst looks.
I think it's the best, but that's because I.
The
grew
worst
on it.
look is from that shitty movie where he's played by Oscar Isaac.
The second worst movie made during that Fox run of X-Men.
Yeah.
And that's saying something.
Remember Dark Phoenix?
There are good movies in there too, okay? First Class and Days of Future Past, I think, are the 2 best live action X-Men films that we have gotten.
Well, yeah, but then they tried to reboot again, and that was the issue.
Well, it's not that they tried to reboot, they tried to keep the license and it didn't go well.
Yeah. Look, everything about
Nice.
the season. I can't wait. X-Men in general, I will always love it. Trying to think. Yeah, Danger was very much a surprise for me this season, and realizing now around like Marvel Tokon, I think it makes a lot more sense. Like I can't imagine.
I don't think that was a tie-in. I think it was more so. I think it was just a convenient
I think it was convenient
plot
placement.
device. Yeah.
'Cause
Like it didn't feel shoehorned in a way that they were just going for cross promotional synergy.
Well, we say that, but also at the same time, Weapon X Lives and DVDs came out, and immediately after that, there was, hey, here's a Wolverine announcement.
Eh.
I do think there's a little bit of synergy there, but more of a, hey, this is good timing. Let's just do this. Yeah, were there any standouts for you with this season? Both either these 4 episodes or just in general?
Obviously, Morph continues to be one of my standouts just because he is the cameo machine. And I actually really love that fight in the finale where we get X-Force come in and be like, wait, why am I sent? And then the other Wolverine pops out and you realize that it's
so
Morph
good.
and Wolverine fighting together. I'm just like, yes, this is what you want from Morph. And it's so good.
It was so good. The subtitles ruined it for me.
I didn't use subtitles for this.
I should not have used
subtitles.
Glad I did. Because the subtitles say like Morph as Wolverine.
I, like, I think it did this. Yeah, I think I saw online as well. It did the same during the post-credit scene where it was like Mystique as Cooper or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's Cooper, right?
Yeah,
I think it's Cooper.
I had Mystique spoiled for me, so
I did not. So I was glad that remained unspoiled.
But I
obviously like, oh my god, was she Mystique the whole time? And then I realized Creed is not the U.S. president the whole time, so definitely not the case.
Mm-hmm. Well, she could have been. She could have been in there more, and I think that's kind of the beauty of Mystique's character, right? Is you never really know.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be really fun to play with, especially with the death of Kurt, the presumed death of Kurt.
This is one of those things when it's not a main character, we didn't see the body. Like there is a path to bringing that character back.
Mm-hmm. For me,
I'm curious to see what they do for Magneto.
Well, I think it's interesting. We watch him get disintegrated.
No, I know, but also that happens in the comics too.
Fair enough. Like I think what's interesting
more
for
like
me
a
is like
coma, right? Like
obviously this season is very much painted by the loss of Gambit, right? Like
yeah,
most of this season, Rogue's entire story this season is painted by that loss. I'm interested to see going forward how is Kurt's loss going to be painted now. Like you and I talked about, like losing Kurt, I think does kind of weaken Rogue's sacrifice a little bit, but I think I still like it. That whole idea of keeping the faith and his speech at the end is beautiful. What does it open up though? Does it open up the way for more mutants? Does it open up the way for more teams? Does it open up the way for the X-Men to really be able to flourish at the school? Like, also, what does this mean for Mystique? What does it mean for Rogue, Gambit?
Also, the most useless piece of UI in the existence of the internet or of modern television, the skip intro button, which is very much unused when you watch this show. Shout out to them for updating the intro and the finale to have it be X-Force versus or X-Factor versus the X-Men. Because having Val Cooper in there makes a lot more sense with the whole disintegration that you mentioned earlier this season. Still seeing Magneto in those intros was kind of off, but I get you don't want to
well, they had the version with
re-render that for every episode.
They had the version with Apocalypse. I'm surprised they didn't use that more.
I mean, Apocalypse was presumed not alive I don't know.
In episode 7.
Yeah, but also we know his horsemen aren't around, so it would have been a little. I don't know. That's the pedantic nature of my brain.
Yeah, I like the updates though. I think that was one of the really fun things this season. I hope we get more of the X-Force and X-Factor people going forward, just kind of as X-Men, and it seems like we might.
I do think that there's like X-Factor being betrayed by Mystique to start season 3 is going to be a big plot point, and it's going to bring X-Factor closer to whatever the iteration of X-Men is going to look like post X-Corps.
I'm so
X-Force
curious.
Is an interesting one, and I'm really hopeful that we get Deadpool at some point because I think just this version of Cable with a version of Deadpool would be great.
God, yeah. Like I think for me, right, like Cable's obviously easy to come back, and then we have Angel, who was Archangel, who was already a part of the X-Men, and Psylocke, who can very easily fit in there, especially after some of her back and forth with Wolverine in that episode, that finale. Like I think they slot in really well, and you could kind of have that. Hey, the X-Men is a much larger team, and we send out different people on different missions as needed. Kind of one of those places where the X-Men really thrives in terms of TV series. It also makes me wonder, like, especially after seeing some of the characters, seeing, Kid Omega, seeing Glob, seeing Kid Gladiator, I think we saw at one point. Although
I think there was a cameo there. Yeah.
Oh no, he was not there. I am mixing that up with Tokon.
Mm.
Because there's a whole thing, and well, maybe we'll get more Shi'ar. Who knows?
With Danger, I think that makes sense.
Like I hope this leads us to getting more of those obscure characters. I would love to get more New Mutants.
I would just love to see some version of, just thinking out loud, Phantomax, Vanisher. You could get Colossus going to X-Force from the X-Men and what those implications might be.
The one I would throw out, the two that I would love to see is I'd love to see Kitty Pryde. I'd love to see what she looks like in the 97 universe. I would love to see Danny Moonstar. And mind you, that is coming from my New Mutants love. Because for me, like, the X-Men have always been incredible, but the New Mutants have always been my team. So I would
love that. The other one I would throw out there, because I think it would be interesting to explore this in the 97 framework. Wolverine is a real popular character, but let's not look at X-23, which we've already had Easter eggs of in the show. Give me Daken. Daken and X-Force would be fucking dope, dude.
At the same time, I would love if I don't think they would ever do this because I think they're going to save this for the MCU. I would love if we led to like a 97 version of Avengers versus X-Men at some point. Like, I would love to see. I want more just to see more of this world. Right.
I do think there's some element of that because and I actually do think this is what they're going to end up ultimately exploring in the MCU, which we'll talk about a bit with our next episode when we talk about the D23 announcement. But the build to a mutant society and mutant segregation away from humanity is such a pivotal part of modern X-Men storytelling that it just seems like a sure thing that whether it be an animation or live action, we will build to Avengers versus X-Men at some point, leading to some Phoenix shenanigans, but more likely than not just leading to the X-Men existing in these universes as kind of antagonists in some ways.
Yeah, I mean,
they're not always going to be the good guys because they can't be.
I mean, like, that's the thing about Avengers versus X-Men, right? Is like the X-Men are wrong. That one, like, Phoenix Force
they are, but they're not, right? Like, there are elements of what they're
right
for that
up until the point that the Phoenix Force corrupts it, and then it goes through the whole comic book bullshit.
Which I don't know if they would go that route in either live action, or they definitely would in animation. And maybe that's how you get magic.
But I think,
Phoenix shenanigans.
like we talk about them potentially going Krakoa, I don't think they're going to go Krakoa. I think they're going to go Utopia. How much do you know about the Utopia Age of X-Men?
Enough that I'm familiar with it, not enough that I've, gone down the Wikipedia / comics rabbit hole.
So, Uncanny X-Men, early 2000s.
I've read a few of those books, yeah.
Manifest Destiny is the one I'm thinking of, where they moved to San Francisco, and set up functionally on Alcatraz. Not actually on Alcatraz, but functionally it's just an island out in the bay.
In universe on Alcatraz, they go the whole Last Stand route, yeah.
But they set up their own mutant island, mutant sanctuary there. It's called Utopia. It eventually morphs into some other shit, and it was in the Ultimate. It's a whole thing. Comics are always a whole thing. Right?
It's right around the whole Secret Wars thing, where all the universes come together and everything.
Well, the problem
before that,
it is after that because it's Avengers versus X-Men.
Okay, yeah.
It's the way that comic books will always kind of screw things up.
Yeah.
But basically they set up their own island and they have that as their mutant sanctuary. I could very much see them going that route. Maybe doing it with Genosha, maybe doing actually just straight up doing Utopia. I still think we get Onslaught at some point. I think Charles has to die.
I think that is a guarantee with the way that Magneto ends with Apocalypse.
Mm-hmm.
I'm honestly surprised they didn't set that up at the end of season 3, but
maybe
at the end of season 2 to set up season 3.
It's, like we got to that mind fight between Xavier and Apocalypse, and I thought for sure that was going to be the moment. Like that was going to be when his mind breaks
something
and
cracks.
Like
I didn't think we were going to get I thought that was going to be like the beginning of it. I didn't think we were going to get full on onslaught.
See, kind of in the
but
way
I
where
did
it's like,
expect that
remember
to be some
when
sort of break.
when Moon Knight ends and it's like, oh, it was actually Jake that murdered all those people.
Yeah.
Like that's what I kind of thought we were gonna get, where it's like the onslaught comes out of Xavier to save him in this moment,
Mhm.
and everyone's like, "What the fuck?" Now we got something much cooler with Rogue coming in and whatnot, and like that. God, that moment hit. Rogue and Gambit's love is one of those constants in Marvel that I will always adore.
It's going to be interesting to see if they try to do it in live action.
Yeah, especially with the new casting, right?
Exactly.
I think they'll hold on. I don't think they'll do it immediately.
No, it won't be immediate, but I do think it's inevitable.
I would agree. But that's it. We're done. The season is over. Now we gotta wait another year.
I'll be interested to see if they can get it out earlier in the year. I don't expect it to, just because we were closer to 2 years. But I think 18 months or so, I could see this being like the holiday drop for 2028.
I could see them doing similar timing. I think midsummer.
I think it's gonna be tough, but we'll see.
Of course, that's all future talk. We'll figure it out when we get there. And we have plenty of other shows to talk about before that. So please let us know what you want us to talk about. We will be there. We will talk about things, figure things out. It unfortunately requires us to watch things, so that does take time. Thank you for bearing with us as always. Until next time, folks, thank you very much for listening. Be good to each other and have a magical day.
Excelsior.